Hello everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is part 2 of what I saw before going to modimolle mountain and what I saw after, coming back from the mountain. I'm going to try very hard to control my emotions to make sure that my voice, it is not becoming louder, because I realize that in most cases when I'm deep into talking, then I just lose the control of my voice because of the passion that I have when it comes to storytelling. So let me start by saying there was a video that I reacted, on last year, I believe. And that video, it was about the guy who is running a ministry, and he decided to go to modimolle mountain with two other guys that he called his sons, and they went to the mountain. And I remember when they started the video, they were showing us the concussion, they were showing us the ashes, they were showing us, these other black powders, and they were saying, they are there to free somebody from what is done in his or her life. I am trying to choose words carefully here. So there is a person who came to this man of God because of now he or she was struggling with some of the things, and the person was not prospering in life because of things were blocked. And now this guy who is running the ministry, he decided to say, you know what, I will take these things and I will go to the mountain and I will pray for you so I can set you free. Actually, what he was going to do, it was what they call back to the sender. So he showed us the video and he said he's going to reveal things that people have never seen before about modimolle, and eventually he revealed the cross. And I remember when I said he's the only guy who went to modimolle with the camera and revealed things that we didn't know, because modimolle, it was the mountain that I was still preparing to go to. But because of he said things that he said, I was like saying there is no way somebody can just go to modimolle and pray for you, and expect you to get the healing and all these type of things. This mountain, it is so dangerous, it is so powerful, and I was saying that because of I had, growing up, the elders were telling me all those things, that the mountain, it is so dangerous. And I had even everybody who went to the mountain was also telling me that the mountain is deadly. Until I climbed the mountain, I realized that what that man was doing, he was not alone. There is a group of people who goes to that mountain because of they want the energy from that mountain, and they want to do what they call back to the sender. And it is so dangerous when people are doing that on that mountain, knowing exactly that that mountain, it has so much power. That means if you don't pray, what they're sending to you, you are not going to see. Oof, it is so painful. I'm trying to choose my words. Guys, I climbed the mountain. When I was there on the mountain, I just saw this path and I followed the path. It led me straight to the cave. These caves that you see from the distance when you're driving on the freeway, you might think these caves are just smaller caves. These caves are big, guys. There are caves whereby you slide in, and once you are in there, you can stand up and start walking. The cave, it is so big, and one thing that I realized about these caves is that the cave was painted by the different colors of candles. When I say painted, I don't mean painted like somebody using a paint. I mean there was a lot of candles in different places whereby people are using different colors of candles. And we know that different colors of candles have different energy. So I'm like, what are these people doing? Because they're using different types of candles. And I was shocked to know that people are going to that mountain to do the things that they wanted to do, like those agendas that they want to do. We always think people climb the mountain to go and pray. People go there because of they want to do whatever that they want to do. Imagine when somebody goes there and I almost mentioned these other colors that we know that they have this dark energy. But it was so bad. And one more thing that I realized after leaving the cave, because I was like, okay, I've seen enough in the cave. let me just continue with my journey whereby I can walk around and see if I can find other caves. I've seen different types of candles into different caves. I'm like, these are a group of people who are doing the same thing. We know the mountain, it belongs to different people who come from different religious backgrounds and stuff, and I was shocked because I only thought when we walk in Kasi, mostly in the locations, we find where there is crossroads, you will see the bottle of cold drink. Somebody just smashed the bottle of cold drink, and it has its own meaning why they smashed the bottle of cold drink. I don't want to go deep into details because of this video is going to be very long, and I'm trying very hard not to have 3 parts. I want to have only 2-part series of this video. And now, here surprisingly, I don't know how people moved from smashing the bottles at the crossroads, and now they connect the bottles and the tree. I just don't know how the tree and the bottle of cold drink has a healing. I just don't understand. Let me put it this way so that you can get what I'm saying, because I am trying to choose my words. When you see a bottle that represents a body and is right there on a tree, you understand that somebody was supposed to do something, and that somebody went to the mountain because of they want that energy of that mountain so that they can send back that energy back to that person, that person can end up being like that cold drink, because of now there are things that they said to that cold drink before they put the cold drink together with the tree and whatever. You will understand what I'm talking about. So I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Why do you wish somebody so bad that that cold drink can represent the body of that somebody? I just don't understand. Okay, let's move along. I saw that, some things I was taking videos and taking pictures, and some I was like, you know what? I don't even need to take this, because of if I take a picture, I put it out here, it's going to be specific. People will know what is the name of the brand of those cold drinks that people used, and they will find some other things that they want to go and use again against some other people. I'm not going to put that picture there. And I moved along. That's when I found this picture, this painting. And I was like, this painting is strange. Why did they use these colors if maybe it was somebody who painted this thing, this rock? The eye doesn't look good. It's strange. Especially to the mountain, which is so dangerous. Why do you want to put the eye there? And I realized that there is a gate. This place they use the fence. There is a gate, and next to the gate there is this, I can call it a bottle or a tank, which is made of steel, which is written donation on it. And there is a number phone of the person who wants donation. And I'm a cool brother. I'm a good guy. I don't want to go to a place and see people saying you must donate and I go without donating. So I open where it says open. If you can check my previous video, I went closer and I zoomed there and I opened that and I throw my donation in there. When I put my donation in there, you can hear the coins, going in like, okay, they are in there. So I can go in. So I went into here, to put my hand on this stone and to read also. And I saw that it's written Survivors Department of SA. And that made me think hard of saying, why are they saying survivors? And I realized that there is numbers here, the number phones here, and the name of the people who are there or who are in charge of that place. Because there is somebody who say it's under the Reverend so-and-so, the name was there. And I was like, why did they put their number phones there? And that it looks like they're the one who surrounded that place. What do they do in there? Do they heal people? Because if they put the numbers there, that means they want anybody who can arrive to that place, to get the phone numbers and call them. who are these people? Because somebody written something like reverend. Is this the church leader, or what is really going on? If the person put their name and also the number phone, that means they want you to call them. Maybe we should call them. Maybe I should call them and ask them, why did you guys put the numbers there, and why did you want the donation, and what really happens if one goes in there without putting any donation? Maybe I should call them and ask them questions, because I was just amazed by that, because I didn't even know. This eye, it looks strange. I went there, I checked everything. I was like, you know what? Let me continue with my trip. Let me continue with my journey and look at this mountain, because, I kept on dreaming about this mountain. I want to see what God wants to reveal to me, what God wants to show me, or what my ancestors actually want me to do here, because everybody keep on saying, man, when we see you, we see modimolle mountain, you need to go there. Okay, I didn't know what was the revelation. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I walked and I went to the other side of the mountain where it's just behind that, because I was like, okay, maybe I will walk until I get to the cross. And now I realized that I was not too far from the cross, I believe, because I've seen the video of those 3 guys who revealed the cross. Also, the place where they went there, where they saw the cross, it was having a fence. And I have the other video whereby I sat down for the whole 30 minutes when I was on the other side of the mountain. I sat down for 30 minutes and I was like ranting. I was just like complaining about these things. Like, why am I dealing with these things? Why am I struggling with this? Why am I, free? Why am I not getting this? Why do I see this kind of dreams? I was like actually talking to God and asking too many questions to God. And it turned out to become like meditation, and that was very helpful, because I was like having a conversation with God, or having a conversation with the landlords of the place, or having a conversation with my ancestors, although I saw nobody. But I felt like, you know what, I should say something. And I went there with the camera and I spent the whole 30 minutes talking. I have that video. I will upload the video. Maybe I will upload the piece of it, where I'm talking. And I was like asking myself questions like, why do ancestors, because first of all, we should ask a question if ancestors do exist. And by this time, I'm an African brother. I believe ancestors do exist, because I've seen so many visions. I've seen so many people coming to me, and I was told that these are my ancestors. And there is 2 different types of people who acknowledge that ancestors, they do exist, and people who worship ancestors, but we are not there for the sake of time. I'm not going to go deep into that. But my question was like saying, why are people on earth doing certain things, living their life the way they want to live, going to mountains and doing stuff, and when they passed away, they still want to come back on earth and speak with their grandchildren and want their grandchildren to do things that they used to do when they were on earth? Because we thought death is the end. We thought like when people passed away, that's the end. They're going to the spiritual realm, or they're going to heaven, or they're going to hell. That's what we used to know. Now we are a bit surprised of people who passed away and demand for chickens, goats, and these other cows, that they know that they left nothing on earth. And when they are demanding these things, I sometimes sit down and I'm like, I don't understand. They know they left nothing. At least they should give me things, so that when they come and complain about, you are selfish, you're not giving us any, cold drink or stuff, I can say, yeah, but you know what, I'm wrong, because they gave me this and they gave me that. But if you're demanding without bringing anything, I get confused. And that's the reason why sometimes I sit down for the whole 30 minutes and talk to myself, or talk to God, or talk to the ancestors. Maybe it's madness, I don't know. So, but that was helpful, because after that 30 minutes, I felt light and I felt better. It was like therapeutic. It was like I was meditating, or it was like maybe I was in a session where I went to see a psychologist, whereby I sat down and I spoke about certain things that, I was having a problem with. I was just finding a healing, for that 30 minutes. And I remember, when I was like looking down and I saw these red and white beads. And these beads, they were still solid, they were like a bracelet. It was like those beads that you can just pick from the ground and just wear them, and I started asking myself a question. If maybe somebody was there before me and that somebody lost those beads, there, or maybe what really happened with those beads. I really didn't understand the whole situation. If those beads were supposed to be for me, I was supposed to pick those beads up and wear them. I didn't understand. But I really didn't connect with those beads. I made a video about them. I just went there to Zoom and I checked those red and white beads, and I was like saying, I really don't know what I should do. And that reminded me, back in the days whereby I was still young. I think it was 2006 when I met this other lady. She was a traditional healer. I remember she was tall. She was light in complexion. Beautiful. She was in her late 40s or early 50s, as I remember that woman. And she was at this shop because I was working at this other retail shop. Or let me tell you the story how I got into the retail shop. One day I was at this place called Beshley. We were sitting outside the church because there was this church whereby when we're sitting there outside, there is a lot of cars that pass by there when they go to Beshley Mall. And they used to come there and pick up people for, gardening, if they want extra person to come and help them for a garden, or maybe if they are into a removal business, or maybe they want to move from this house to the other house. If they need extra hands, basically, they used to come and pick one person there. And we were so hungry in a way that we were misbehaving in most cases. When somebody comes and stop a car, we all jump to that car and we are even opening the doors and we were trying to be in the car so that we can get hired. I remember that time we were paid something like $60 to go and, distribute the pamphlet, because I remember I did that job where I will be standing at the robot and give people pamphlet the whole day. You have to smile to people even if you don't want to smile, so that they can take the pamphlet. And I remember I did a lot of gardening during those days. I did a lot of jobs. So on that day, things were so bad, we couldn't get a job. Things were bad. Around 2 o'clock, we saw this gentleman. He was driving one of these top brand, cars. And when he stopped there, we all ran to him and he said, wait, guys, I am here because I am looking for men who are ready to work and I need you to behave. And we stood there because now others were already trying to open the doors, and now we kept calm. So he spoke with us. He said, guys, listen, I own shops in Tembisa and I am looking for men who will come and work, but it's hard labor because sometimes you will have to go and lift 50 kg of maize meal from the truck and come and put it in the storeroom. Sometimes you have to be taking out the pallets of 2.5 kg of sugar or maybe flowers. It's going to be hard labor, and I need men who are strong, who are willing to work. He was talking to us. But one thing which everybody noticed was that when he was busy talking, he locked his eyes with mine. He was like looking into my eyes, making sure that the message is loud and clear. And I was looking at him and listening to what he was saying. And he said, if you know BP Garage behind Meklareng Stadium, there is my shop there. It's called this and that. And show up 6 o'clock, guys, so we can start with the interview. I woke up early in the morning and I went there and I realized that we were like 6 or 7 of us. The majority of guys, they didn't show up there, because people had this thing of saying, I don't want to work for a black person. I went there, and when I arrived, I remember the interview was so simple. He was asking if I'm smoking, if I'm drinking, and I was not smoking and drinking. It was easy for me, because he was the member of this church, and people were surprised because he was not hiring anyone who is not the member of the church. He always went to church and he hired people from the sitting church so that they can work into his stores, And people, I remember, they were shocked when I was working in that store because they were like saying, how did you get hired, man? You are not even a member of this church, But I was like, guys, I don't know. He came to the place where we were looking for a job and he spoke with us and he said, if we show up, he will be happy to see us, and is looking for people who can come and work. And he hired me because of he think I can do the job, And it always that thing that people are always looking for their family members to go and get employment. I don't know how he got there, and look into my eyes, because even those other people were saying, dude, look, this guy, when he's talking, he is looking right into your eyes. It's like he is talking to you. You must make sure that you go there the following morning. And I went there, and of course I got a job. So when I was working in that store, there comes this other woman. I remember she was a traditional healer, tall, light in complexion, beautiful. And I remember she wanted to buy the margarine, and she also wanted to buy milk. So she came with the basket and she put it down there. She greeted me. Of course, I greeted her because I was like the one who's, making sure that the milk is in order, because now we were having milks from different, people. There were people who were like having a contract whereby they will time after time come in and check if their milk are packed in the fridge. So if that person can show up to the fridge and they find out that there is other milk, brands of milk, and in front of their milk, it was a problem. So my job was to make sure that each and every brand of milk is packed on its line, so that a buyer can have a choice of picking whatever brand of milk that they want to choose. Because of now, these subcontractors, people who are selling milk in our retail shop, they always come there and check if maybe you are becoming lazy of not packing their milk at the right space. Because sometimes people buy milk and you can forget that there is no longer milk in the fridge while you are still having a lot of milk in the storeroom. So it was always a problem, because if there is no milk there, they want to go and check if you still have some boxes of milk in the storeroom. And if there is boxes of milk in the storeroom and you didn't pack that milk in the fridge, that means you are in a serious trouble. So my job was to make sure that the fridge is always kept in order. Everything, it is there. So this woman, when she was there, I wanted to help her. Of course, as a good boy, I will help her. And she started talking to me of saying, what, you're a good boy, God loves you, God will reward you a lot, this and that. So I was like saying, it's one of those, motivational talk that every parent will give a boy child. If a boy child is behaving because of they're happy because you are doing the right thing, you can respect them as their elders, But I didn't know that she sees things that I don't see as a young man. And she started saying, do you know how I got these red and white beads that I'm wearing here? I was like, no, I don't know. She said, the reason why I'm buying all this milk and this butter is because of I have a ceremony at home whereby traditional healers will be at my place. I have to make sure that I make scones and stuff for them. And so that's why I'm buying too much milk and butter. And now she started telling me that one day she was sitting outside, under the tree, and the bird was like there on the tree, like making this noise that she didn't understand why. She eventually looked up, and when she looked up, she found out that there is red and white beads which were hanging on a tree branch. And something or somebody told her to go and get those red and whites, and she went there to get them. So her red and white beads are not man-made. She was given direct by the ancestors, and she was telling me those things. And she said, I'm telling you these things because of when I see you, I see your great-grandfather, I see your grandfather, I see your people. And I just feel free to share this with you because of they love you so much. But she said, but when I see you, I don't see you with the red and white beads. I see you picking up stones. I was like, stones? Me picking up stones? She said, yes. I see you picking up stones. In fact, you already picked them. You already picked 3 stones on the ground. And I was like, okay. Because I didn't get it at that time. But it came back to register that time I was talking to her, it was like 2006, 2007. And remember, 2004 is when I had a problem and I went to this other prophet who helped me, who healed me with the 3 stones. I already shared that story, at this video called How I Got Baptized. If you check the video, How I Got Baptized, I'm telling the whole story whereby I was sick, and I went to this other prophet because of somebody recommended this prophet to me, and this prophet wasn't around that village. The prophet was from Venda, and this prophet was the albino. And I remember when I arrived there, he was so happy, and he spoke with me, and he said, go outside and pick 3 smallest stones that you can find. 3, not 4, not 2, only 3, and bring them to me. And I brought those stones to him, and he took those stones and he put them into the water, and he said, let's pray. We prayed. From thereafter, he wanted me to drink the water, and I drank that water to fill my stomach, and the pain become better and better. And later he told me how to use that water with the stones. So if you want to hear more about it, you can go to that other video. It's called How I Got Baptized. Now, when she said I already picked the stones, it came back to my head now. Remember, elders, man, they can say something that, you can hear it, but you won't understand it. And you might think you understand it, but, years later, it registers in your head. You're like, oh, actually, she was saying this and that. Now you get the full picture, but that time I didn't get the full picture. And now when I am on top of this mountain on Monday, on the 30th of August 2021, that's when I saw the red and white beads. And those red and white beads, they reminded me those stones that I was told that I already picked the stones. And for me, it was like, do I have to pick these red and white beads and put them on my wrist? Because it's just like a bracelet. Or should I leave them, and if maybe they were for me, I will see them again in my dreams and all this type of stuff, and I'll hear something about them. I was like at the crossroads, and I was like, you know what, I had to listen to my body, and I was like saying, these beads, they don't speak with me, they don't connect with me. So I only took a video of those beads because they were strange, they were like surprising, because they look like they've been there for months or for years. But now the thing was like, why were they not scattered everywhere? Why were they were still solid. There is a video, I don't know if I can make a separate video where I will show you the beads that I'm talking about that I found on modimolle mountain. I didn't take them. I left them there because I didn't know if maybe a traditional healer was there and lost, those beads by mistake, or maybe they were for me because I just saw them. And I decided not to pick them, but I'm happy because we are making progress. We are making progress because if they're saying come to modimolle, I went there and I sat there and I prayed and I had a video whereby I was just talking on this, camera, making sure that I record everything. It was very therapeutic because now, even if when I'm sitting down, I can listen to, the things that I was talking about. I can listen to everything when I'm putting, my earphones. And I'm happy, I'm happy because I'm getting a breakthrough, and I'm seeing, different versions, I'm seeing, different dreams. And I'm like happy because we are moving from, being on the crossroad. At least we are taking one direction, because it was just difficult not knowing what to do, it just painful. And I felt like I've been on that mountain for too long, and I was like, you know what, let me just start walking back so that I can see what I can do. Maybe I can get the transport so that I can go back to Johannesburg. And while I was just descending from that mountain, I remember I saw 2 guys approaching to my direction. And these guys, they were with 2 dogs. But there was something strange about these dogs, because these dogs, they were like the same height, the same color, because they were black and white. Their whole body was black, and from their neck to their head, was white. And I remember when I was talking to those 2 guys when they greeted me, because they wanted me to help them with something. I just want this video not to be that long. Join me on part 3 when I explain how I got back to Johannesburg, how I hiked, and what was the deal about those 2 guys, and also those 2 dogs, and why specifically those dogs, their colors were black and white, and they were identical, and I have to leave it here, guys. I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. Thank you.